Hi everyone, thanks very much for popping over to my YouTube channel. It's Angeline Murphy and today I would like to show you how to hand sew a button onto a piece of fabric or a garment that you've lost the button. It's really simple. If you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Okay, so to sew on a button, all you need is a pair of scissors, thread matching the colour of your button, the fabric or garment that you're going to sew the button onto, and a hand needle. Now, if you don't have a spare button, do check the inside of your garment that the button fell off, just in case it is tacked onto the inside, and that's where you'll find all of your spare buttons. Now, as you can see, this button here does not have a shank, and a shank basically is this little metal bit on this button here, you can see. And it creates a wee bit of, a wee bit of slack, a wee bit of give between the thread and the fabric, which allows you to slip the button through the buttonhole and gives a wee bit of movement so that the button's not too tight against the fabric that you can't actually get it through the buttonhole. So for this one, I'm going to show you actually how to create a shank as well, just using thread. So we take the button. We want to cut, I would say, about between 3/4 of a metre and a metre of thread. Just simply cut it with your scissors. Give your thread a wee lick. And take your thread through the eye of the needle. Now you want to even out your two pieces of thread. Once you've done that, you want to tie a knot in the bottom of the thread. So simply just put it through around your two fingers and take the bottom of the thread up through the loop and tighten it. So you've simply created this wee knot at the bottom of your thread and snip the excess thread. Okay, so you pinpoint where you want to sew on the button. So say for example, I'm just going to sew it here. So if you're sewing it onto a garment that the button has fallen off, you will see there will be a wee bit of markings that you can use as a guide to start threading or sewing your button on. So you always come from underneath the garment so that the knot will be at the back and you won't see that. So gently pull it through until you come to a bit of a tug, and that's your knot that is securing it at the bottom. You come up from the wrong side of the button and then you go down through the buttonhole beside it and you pull it through. And then you simply just put your needle down through the fabric again, close to where you come up through the fabric, and just tighten the button. Make sure you're not tightening it too much that's being held in position, because you want a wee bit of slack to be able to create that shank. So coming from the back again, we want to come right up through the initial buttonhole that we came through at the start and down again. Making sure it's tight enough but not too tight that it's lying flush on your fabric. So again, you want to come up around the same point, so you're keeping the back quite neat as well, and up through the buttonhole that you did initially and down again, down through the back. So I'm going to do that 3 times just for the purpose of this video. I think if I was sewing it on myself, I would do it about 6 times just to make sure it's nice and secure. So if one side of the buttonhole is sewn, we want to secure the other side. So again, we look at the back, we come round about the same side, and we come up through the buttonhole at the other side, and then we come down. Okay, we want to make sure that our thread is flush against the top of the buttonhole, so the thread's actually quite nice and tight, so it's not gapy, so it actually looks quite well. So again, up through the same buttonhole, we'll come through there. and down. And I'm going to do that 3 times. And if you need to check around the back, do, and come up again and then down through the last buttonhole. So there I have sewn that 3 times on each, and I've just sewn across the way. Now in some buttons you'll see that they actually sew zigzag, which is fine, you can do that as well if you want to add a wee bit more decoration, but I am just doing it side by side. So I have sewn it I have sewn it 3 times in each of the buttonholes, coming from the back. But I want to do this time is I want to start creating the shank. So I come up from the back in the same area where I initially came, and I take the needle through, but this time I'm coming actually just in behind the buttonhole. And what I want to do now to create the shank is I just start looping the thread around the buttonhole. Let's say about 6 times. 4, 5, 6. Pull it quite tight at this point. I'm just going to do it a couple more times. 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've created quite a strong shank there. And you'll see the shank here. So there's a wee bit of space between the fabric and the buttonhole. And this means that the button will nicely go through the buttonhole. So once we've run around about 10 times, we want to take the thread and push the needle through the bottom again of the fabric right to the back, and we want to secure the end of this thread just to make sure that it doesn't come out. So to secure the end of the thread, we just put the needle through the fabric all at the back, coming out around the back. We pull it through, and just before we're closing it off, you want to take the needle, push it through that loop and pull it through, and that creates a knot. We need it quite tight. I'm going to do another one just to secure it nice and tight. And then we've created this loop, and we want to bring the hand needle through the loop and just pull it through. And that's us finished. We just need now to snip the end of the thread. That's our buttonhole at the back, and that's our button at the front. So as you can see, there's a wee bit of room here so that you can put it through the buttonhole, and that's it nicely secured on again.